success story. The situation as far as the success is concerned, I would request everybody here is to have a faith in oneself, have a conviction in oneself, have it to say that, and that would come only by you only working on the situation. Nothing is difficult, everybody possesses the same thing. Only thing is how far you can stretch it to working by yourself to reach to say that yes, I am facing a particular giant and therefore I must work. If you know your subject, nobody is a better master of that than you yourself. You yourself will make your own life by reading, reaching to a conclusion, making it a successful story for yourself and maybe for others. Why this conviction is necessary, why this kind of a faith in yourself is necessary, why a perception in yourself that you can achieve something is necessary, is again based on some story of diamonds. It's like a man who as a farmer was lying, just sitting idle, doing his farming without realizing that how he must be a successful as far as this is concerned. One man, a very wise man, came to him and told him, Mr. Farmer, see, go in search of diamonds. It's in Africa, you will be lucky, go in search of diamonds. A thumb-sized diamond can buy you virtually a city and you can be a king of the city. He said, yes, rather than doing my farming, I must get into this line. I must make probably more money and this wisdom will prevail on me, and that's possible that if I have a diamond of the size of thumb. So he sells his property to a third party, goes to Spain and thinks of doing it there, search of diamond. That's what I must earn money for, and that's how I can be rich in life, without realizing that equally he can buy diamonds from making a good farming here, that he loses a faith in his own self. Then in this process he searches for where to have a diamonds. Nobody treats him, nobody gets him, nobody tells him, he doesn't gather any information on that. Nothing happens, nothing is achieved, and one fine morning he ultimately commits suicide. That money which was given to him is by selling the farm, he gives it to his family and he has left for all this. The person who had purchased the property, one fine morning while doing the same kind of a farming, he finds a shining stone in his that which was sold to him. He takes it that it's a very shining stone. It can be very attractive as far as keeping it in the showcase is concerned. He takes it, keeps it in his showcase, and then the same man who had given a wisdom to that farmer, one fine morning crossing, comes and tells, see, this is actually the diamond. He says, I don't know whether it's diamond or otherwise, but I believe basically in farming, I am doing farming. He said, no, there are probably lot more in your field, it looks like. This is the size if you are looking for. So therefore, when he says he goes to his own farm, then he finds there are lot such, when you dig little more, he finds lot such instances of stones which are found here and there. He starts collecting that, brings it, shows it to the gemologist, and then they come to know that yes, it's a real gem, it's a diamond. And he becomes really far rich than this. But the moral of the story is not about he becoming rich. The moral of the story is what you have, how you can convert that into a diamond is what you have to look for. So don't neglect right under your foot that there is a diamond, there could be a diamond. You can make that into a success story. Don't chase something which is a mirage. That mirage which is otherwise not existing may not come to you at all. So the diamond right in your foot down, had you applied your mind, had you seen it yourself, had you made it, had you thought on that process, so that kind of a study would have really given you a diamond, and not that this situation is. So therefore, this kind of diamond situation is, I would like to tell you, is, you can categorize it to say, opportunity at your foot, recognize that, and that's what your ability should be. So the opportunity would come to you. It is said, no, that opportunity knocks your door once. It's really true that opportunity would knock your door once, but the second time if it knocks, it could either be a better thing or a worse situation, you don't know. But that opportunity, you must have an ability to recognize that and do it. Second is, the grass is always greener on the other side. Equally, that man must be thinking, no, Mr. Kulkarni is enjoying more better facilities, I must get into that. Don't ever do that. Everybody has the same opportunity. God has created the same 24 hours every day morning. What best you can make from that is the individual ability left to you. You can do whatever you want, but have a faith in yourself, and don't think that the grass is green on the other side, that I am suffering, I am only getting very bad matters, I am only, see, this judge is bad. That's your target. You must achieve, you must make it, you must try. It will not happen. 10,000 times while making a bulb, the scientist failed 10,000 times. Edison failed 10,000 times. 10,000 times, can you ever imagine? The whole life would go in that. 10,000 times he loses, then also he says, ultimately I must do it. So don't go. That success story, 90% of it is because of the failures. Without failures, you cannot be success. So it's only 100% of work put in 90% of the failures will give you 100% of success. Success story is not without failures. You may win a war, but you may have lost many battles in between. And that's the reason why it becomes a success story. And it is nobody, the great jurist Nani Palkiwala did not get a brief for 11 years. He didn't get a brief for 11 years. He thought, I will read. He went on doing. The first brief that came to him, with an impression that, I forgot the name, who was appearing for as a leading person for number 1, and he was for number 2. And he was said, you don't have to argue because everything is going to be covered by Mr. X. So since the brief was given to him only to sit next to somebody who was great, he didn't make anything, since it was what the advice of the client was, or the solicitor who had said. And the judge said, yes, Mr. 1, I don't want to listen anything from you. I know what it is. Tell me what is your case. But the instructions to Mr. Palkiwala were that not to open the mouth. In a situation like this, he could not open his mouth, and he was a utter failure. Had this been a situation that he would have never ever been a great jurist in this world, but he took it to say that I will never ever now accept such a brief where I will not be able to open my mouth if I am briefed. If I am briefed, I must make my submissions, I must make my law, and that's how it rose him to such a great height that we have one of the best jurists of this world like Mr. Nani Palkiwala. But the background of his success story is also this. The success is individually left to you. What you want to achieve. It's like basically in a gold mine, tons and tons of mud is removed, but ultimately you gather only 1 ounce of gold. So therefore the work for success is so much that simpliciter thinking that it's going to be only one mouse, why should I work so many hours? No, you will have to put in that kind of number of hours if you want to achieve something like gold. Maybe it is little, but the value is so higher. So therefore you may have to work so much to get ultimately. The success story begins with a hard work, except in dictionary. The success comes before work, but otherwise without work there is no success.